He was born in Palermo on the beautiful island of Sicily, but he grew up in Syracuse, where he began learning to swim at the age of 6. Alessandro Campagna was afraid at first, but the more time he spent in the water, the more confident he became, and soon came to love it. At the same time, he loved football, and he trained seriously in both sports. Then, at the age of 12, Sandro was introduced to the sport of water polo. For him, it merged the two sports he loved, and the rules of the sport came quickly to him. In 1976, when Sandro was 13 years old, he watched Italy win the silver medal in water polo at the Montreal Olympic Games. It was then he decided that one day he too would play water polo for his country, just like his idol Gianni De Magistris. 5 years later, Sandro was playing for Ortigia in the first division of the Italian League. In a game against Florentine and their star Gianni De Magistris, Sandro scored 3 goals. Ortigia won the game 5-4, and Sandro was invited to join the Sette Bello. At the 1986 World Championships, Sandro helped the Sette Bello win the silver medal, and Sandro was voted one of the world's best. But after finishing a disappointing 7th in Seoul in 1988 and finished a distant 6th in the 1991 World Championships, the Italian Federation turned to a foreign coach, Ratko Rudic. Rudic brought with him a winning culture based on discipline and hard work. Results were immediate. Behind the play of Alessandro Campagna, Italy won gold at the 1992 Olympic Games Barcelona, gold at the 1993 FINA Cup in Athens, gold at the 1993 European Championships, and finally the 1994 World Championships in Rome. It was an unprecedented water polo grand slam. Alessandro Campagna was one of the most complete water polo players of all time. In his professional career, he played for 2 clubs. The first was Ortigia Siracusa, where he was the captain and the leading player for 10 championship seasons, and the second, Roma, where he won the Coppa del Coppa, also known as the Len Cup Winners' Cup. Upon retirement, after accumulating 409 caps playing for the Sette Bello, Campagna decided to put his water polo knowledge to use in coaching. As head coach of the Italian national team, he led Italy to the top of the podium at the 2011 FINA World Championships, the silver medal at the 2012 London Games, and bronze at the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro. Campagna credits his success to the 4 coaches he trained under during his career. To his first coach, Romolo Parodi, his love of the game. To Gianni Lanzi, he credits for selecting him to the national team as a young player at 18 years old. He believes Fritz Dennerlein completed him tactically. And lastly, he believes Ratko Rudic made him go further mentally than he would have on his own. In May 2015, he was elected among the 100 Legends of Sport in Italy for the Italian Walk of Fame at the Foro Italico in Roma. Alessandro Campagna, Honor Water Polo Player, Italy.
I am very lucky to be the first. Okay, I want to say thanks to ISHOF to let me to be part of this family and to be inside of the Hall of Fame and to come to be remembered one of the icon of this sport. When I received the news from Meg, I was shocked and I was so proud and so emotional. I sit down in my sofa and I try to remember my career, my journey that brought me here in Fort Lauderdale, in Florida. In this journey of memories, I want to underline 3 significant moments. One moment when I was 13 years, I started to play water polo, and watching the Olympic Games in Montreal, I fell in love with these sports, and I say to myself, I want to be in the podium in the Olympic Games. But the coach, my first coach, said to me, okay, the talent is not enough. Without constancy, persistence, without mental power, you cannot achieve this target. The second, after 10 years, I was 23 years old, in the World Championship, I was nominated the one of best player in the world that year. I play a fantastic World Championship. I scored many goals. In the final, I scored 5 goals, but we lost. We lost against Yugoslavia after one epic matches, after 8 overtime. Yes, the match was 3 hours. But we lost because I made a mistake. At 0.3 seconds of the last 8 overtime. And you can imagine the big pain I had in my heart, but I learned a lot from the defeat. And after 6 years, when in the Olympic Games in Spain, in Barcelona, we played another final against Spain, in Spain. And that match we won after 6 overtime. And I was sure that I will never make any mistake, because one important part of the sports is to learn from the defeat. Now, as a player, as a coach, I can say that it's not important how many medals you win in World Championship or in Olympic Games, but it's very important how fast you get up after a defeat. Thank you very much.
Presenting the mantle is Sandro Buca.